In a world that was falling apart, there were still small things that survived. A page, a line of ink, a memory that refused to die. And sometimes, it is that memory that saves what's left of our souls. The wind howls through charred windows, scattering dust across an empty street. The city exhales one last tired breath, then falls silent. In that silence, broken walls still whisper stories of the days that once were. Through the gray mist, two small figures appear. A little girl, a boy. In the girl's hand, a small oil lamp, its flame trembling, afraid to die. The girl's name was Anna, 9 years old. The boy, Luca, 10. No home, no parents, only each other. And that tiny flame, the last warmth left to humankind. They walk slowly through the burned city. Each step echoes among the ashes. No one knows who they are. No one is left to see. Then, through the haze, a building emerges. A ruined library, its sign half fallen, one word still visible, bibliothèque. Anna stops. Her eyes light up. A library, she whispers. Luca looks around. We can stay there. Inside, the air smells of old paper and smoke. Bookshelves have collapsed. Pages drift like dead leaves. Faint light pours through the broken ceiling, catching the dust. Like snow in a forgotten dream. Anna bends down. Picks up a cracked leather notebook. No name on the cover. She blows off the dust, and it rises, glittering in the beam of light. She opens the first page. The handwriting trembles. Ink blurred but still legible. February 3rd. The bombs sound distant. Today, I learned how to be silent, without fear. Luca leans closer. Who wrote it? Anna shakes her head. Don't know, there's no name. A deep voice fills the silence. A nameless diary. No owner. Only fragments of souls scattered among the ashes. But in war, sometimes it's the broken pieces that teach us how to be human. Anna keeps reading. February 5th. I have hidden the family photo inside a metal box. If I don't return, someone will find it. Luca looks at her. They lived here once. Night falls. The two children sit beside a small fire. Smoke blending with fog. Anna hugs the diary to her chest and whispers, maybe the writer just wanted to live one more day. The narrator's voice returns. Not everyone writes a diary hoping to be read. but deep down, everyone wants to hear, just once, that they existed. The wind sighs through the broken frame. Pages flutter as if whispering to one another. Anna looks up. Her eyes open against the dark. In her hands, the diary seems to breathe. And in that breath, between ash and darkness, an unnamed memory comes back to life. Morning came slowly, as if afraid to touch the ruins. Sunlight slipped through the cracks in the roof, drawing long, golden lines across the dust. Anna sat by the window, her knees pulled close, the diary open on her lap. Lucas sat opposite her, silent, watching the wind trace shapes in the air. She turned a page. The handwriting was thin, delicate, almost fading. February 12th. I moved the chair away from the window to let the light in. Last night I dreamed of soup hot and thick and the sound of a spoon against a bowl. In the dream, someone called my name. But when I woke, only the wind was there. Anna touched the edge of the paper. She dreamed of soup, she murmured. Just soup. Luca answered quietly, ordinary things have become miracles. She kept reading. February 14. I sang to myself tonight. Not loud, but enough for my heart to remember its rhythm. Anna smiled faintly. If she sang, she must have believed in something. Luca nodded. Maybe she believed someone was listening. The next page spoke of a kitchen, of a small iron box hidden beneath the floor. The words trembled, written as if in haste. I buried a photo of my family. If anyone finds it, tell them I still remember. Anna looked up. She wrote about a box. In a kitchen. Maybe close to here. Lucas studied the fading ink. Maybe we can find it. When evening came, they left the library and crossed the silent streets. The air was sharp and gray. Walls leaned inward as if the city itself was tired of standing. They found a house with red bricks and a half-broken door. Inside, the kitchen smelled of rust and smoke. Luca counted softly, 1, 2, 3. Then, with a small knife, he lifted the third tile from the corner. Beneath it was a rusted iron box. Its lid had split, but inside they found a photograph. A man in a hat, a woman with her hair tied high, and a young girl holding a cat, smiling as if light itself had chosen her. Anna's hands trembled. She was real, she whispered. Luca nodded. And she's still here in this paper, in this dust. There was another folded note beside the photo. The writing was hurried, uneven. if I do not return. If anyone finds this diary, please write the days I have missed. Anna pressed the note to her heart. Then they placed the photo back, gently, as if tucking someone into sleep. They left the box beneath the floor, sealing the secret again. Back in the library, night gathered quietly around them. Anna opened the diary once more and began to write. Today we found the writer's kitchen. We did not take anything. We only promised to keep writing so that no one would be left alone in silence. Luca leaned against the column. If she could read it, he said softly, she'd know we're still here. And if she can't, then someone else will. That's how stories survive. Outside, the wind shifted. Footsteps echoed faintly along the empty street, slow, deliberate. Anna froze. Luca held his breath. A shadow crossed the broken window and stopped. A voice, rough and tired, spoke. Is anyone here? They said nothing. I used to work here, the voice continued. I was the librarian. I came back to see if any books were still breathing. Anna looked at Luca. He nodded. She whispered, "We're here." The man did not step inside. He only bowed his head, as if greeting an old friend. "I won't take anything," he said. "I'll just put the shelves back in order." He walked slowly through the wreckage, lifting books, setting them upright, as if each one were a sleeping patient in need of care. When his eyes met the diary in Anna's hands, he paused. He didn't ask. He simply smiled, a sad, knowing smile, and kept working. When he left, he said only one thing. As long as there are words, there will be people. Anna wrote his sentence into the diary. Luca whispered, "Maybe he'll come back." "Maybe," Anna said, to organize the silence again. Days passed. The light changed its color, first gray, then pale gold. Anna sat in the beam by the window, her hair lit like threads of wheat. She turned another fragile page. February 20th. I saw a girl running through the intersection. She carried a small oil lamp in her hand. Her light outshone the bombs. Anna's heart stopped for a moment. She saw me, she whispered. Luca looked up. You. I carried a lamp once. The night we lost the bridge. Luca nodded slowly. Then you saved her, without knowing. Anna smiled through tears. Maybe we both saved each other. The days were quiet until the sirens began again. At first a single note, then two. Then the sound everyone knows and no one can bear. Luca pulled Anna under the heavy table. Dust fell in waves. The floor trembled. The diary slid from her hands and landed near the window. "Leave it," Luca shouted. But Anna crawled forward, reaching into the gray. A flash of white light filled the room. The sound came a heartbeat later, thick, deafening, final. When the smoke cleared, they were alive. Anna clutched the diary, its corner burned black but the words intact. Her face was streaked with ash, but her eyes shone. Luca took her hand. "Still here," he whispered. She nodded. "Still here." They sat among the ruins, surrounded by fallen pages. One book lay open beside them, its single surviving line visible. What is written will always find its reader. Anna opened the diary again and began to write. "Tonight we chose not to let go. Not everything can be saved. But these words we saved them. If someone once wrote to know they were alive, then tonight we write so they will never die twice." When she finished, Lucas smiled faintly. "Thank you," he said. "For what?" "For running into the fire, for a piece of paper with a heartbeat." Anna looked down at the diary and whispered, "I didn't run for the paper. I ran for her song." They sat in silence. The world outside was broken, but inside, the words still breathed. And somewhere far away, the voice of the writer, the nameless one, seemed to speak through the ashes. Morning returned softly, like a timid guest knocking on the door of a wounded house. The sky was pale and tired, the kind of sky that doesn't promise anything but still shows up. Through the holes in the roof, threads of light fell on the floor, golden and slow. Anna opened her eyes to it. Luca was already awake, sitting by the cold fireplace, turning the small pencil between his fingers. For a moment, neither spoke. They had survived another night, and that alone felt like a story worth writing. Anna opened the diary. The pages were warm from her hands, though the room was cold. She began to read aloud, her voice thin but steady. February 23rd. I dreamed of peace last night. Not a grand peace, not banners or parades. Just the sound of a spoon touching the side of a bowl. She smiled faintly. She dreamed of the same sound I've been hearing in my head. Luca looked up. The sound of soup. No, Anna said softly. The sound of being alive. She wrote beneath it. Today, we heard the same sound again. We don't know where it came from. We decided to call it hope. Luca leaned closer. Maybe the world is remembering how to make noise again. For the first time in days, Anna laughed small, cracked, but real. Hours passed quietly. In the afternoon, the librarian returned. His coat was dusted white from the wind, his eyes red with sleeplessness. He didn't ask for their names, and they didn't ask for his. Somehow, names didn't matter anymore, only the fact that they were still here. He spread a wool blanket on the table. "Sit," he said. "It's colder today." Then he began arranging fallen books, carefully, like placing flowers over graves. Anna asked, "Why do you keep coming back?" He smiled faintly. "Because someone has to make the silence look tidy." Luca smiled too, that rare kind of smile that stays only a second, but feels like sunlight when it leaves. Anna wrote again in the diary. "Today, a man came to clean the silence. The librarian stayed until sunset. Before he left, he looked at the cracked column near the door and said, 'Don't lean on that when the wind changes.' Then he disappeared into the dim light, leaving behind the faint scent of rain and paper. That night, the sirens returned. Short bursts, broken sounds, not warnings anymore, just habits. Luca and Anna didn't run. They stayed close, waiting, breathing, counting each other's heartbeats. The explosion came, heavier than before. A single, slow roar that lifted the dust and dropped it back as snow. When the shaking stopped, everything was still. So still that silence had weight. Anna opened her eyes first. They were both alive. The box that held the diary had rolled under the table. She crawled, reached, and pulled it close. The cover was darker now, scorched deeper. But the words had survived again. She opened to a blank page. Her hand trembled, but she began to write. Not everyone returns. Some people leave without saying goodbye. But absence is also a kind of message. It means they once existed. It means we must keep the light for them. She looked at Luca. "Tomorrow," she said, "I want to put it where the light falls first." He nodded. By the window. When morning came, the air smelled clean, as if the city itself had exhaled the dust. Anna carried the diary to the broken window. Luca followed, holding the small oil lamp. She opened the cover and placed it gently on the stone ledge. Sunlight spilled over the page like liquid gold. Luca spoke quietly. "Write something for today." Anna handed him the pencil. "You first." He thought for a moment, then wrote, "We are still alive." She smiled and added beneath it, "And we believe the writer is smiling somewhere too." They read the two lines together. The words were small, but in that smallness there was something vast. A promise that even in ruins, someone would remember. They sat beside the window for a long time, watching the pages flutter under the soft wind. Down the street, somewhere unseen, a door creaked open. A single bird's call cut through the silence, fragile, uncertain, but undeniably real. Anna turned to Luca. "Do you think someone will find it?" Luca nodded. "Someone always does. And when they do, they'll write their own line. That's how peace begins, one sentence at a time." Anna smiled. "Then we've already started." They stood. She left the diary open on the ledge. The wind turned a single page and then stopped, as if satisfied with what it had read. Together, they walked out into the sunlight. Their shadows stretched behind them, long, thin, and still connected. From far away, the library looked like a shell left by the sea. Empty, beautiful, and echoing softly with stories. Inside, the diary rested in the light. A page fluttered once more. And on that page, someone, maybe the wind, wrote a final whisper. "One day, someone will find this book. They will read it. And they will write again. Because peace, like words, never truly ends."